The role of business in contemporary society is rapidly changing. As first-year business students at Strathclyde University, we have had the chance to learn about some of the factors which cause this change in business. Each week, we learn about different business concerns. However, together as a group, 7B, we have decided to focus on 4, which we feel are the main contributors to the way in which businesses operate nowadays in society: corporate social responsibility, business ethics, globalisation, and crisis management. One of the first topics which we studied in MDP 1, corporate social responsibility is something which is hugely important and continues to play a part in the way that businesses and consumers operate within the marketplace. Corporate social responsibility is a concept which is now perpetuated within most organisations' mission statements, and having a positive CSR culture is something which many consumers now seek. So we learned that CSR can be further categorised into 3 different factors: social, economical and environmental. So the social aspect takes into account the way in which a business deals with its people. Not only is it important for organisations to successfully generate and withhold a loyal consumer base, but it's also extremely valuable for businesses to have an ongoing respect and set of values for the way in which they deal with every person involved in their business activities. For example, more and more organisations are ensuring that they have a dynamic and varied workforce by eliminating any discrimination that is currently existing. It is extremely important and valuable for an organisation to promote a sense of equality within their working environment. The environmental aspect kind of goes without saying. More and more organisations are encouraged to do their bit to support and help out the environment, especially in these times when global warming plays a huge role in our society. In terms of economic factors, we struggle to find a balance between having a positive CSR culture and being profitable. It's often difficult for businesses to find a balance between these 2 factors. However, through our understanding and research, we learned that demonstrating a positive CSR culture can allow a business to accumulate many benefits and retain a loyal customer base and entice new. So the impact of CSR, as you can tell, is huge on the way that business operates in society. I'm now going to pass on to Callum, who will discuss why ethics are important throughout business activities.
Business ethics plays a major role in society, and nearly every business decision that involves ethics will involve it in some way or form. There are 4 different kinds of ethics that we explored during MDP, and these are relativism, egoism, utilitarianism and deontologism. These concepts were developed by moral philosophers and were used to distinguish ethical behaviour from unethical behaviour. Looking at these, so relativism, there is no universal standard by which morality can be judged. Egoism, you should act in your own self-interest. Ethical behaviour it's what promotes your own self-interest, that's how it's described. Utilitarianism is that the morality of the action is determined by the consequence, so a negative consequence would mean that it was unethical, whereas a good consequence would mean that it was ethical. And deontologism is the actions are not justified by their consequence. Business ethics does play this major role in society, and without ethics, business isn't proper. You need to have ethics to make sure that everything works and everything gels together. We're now over to Danielle to describe the next part of our vlog.
Hi, I'm Danielle, and throughout semester 1 our group has learned that globalisation plays a huge role within business in our society. This is a concept which is far from new, and it goes way back to the Silk Road across Asia, where people would have bought and sold from each other. Due to such drastic advances in technology as well as communications, it can now be said that globalisation is a worldwide phenomenon which plays a huge role in the world of business. Such developments have now meant that travel tends to be quicker with the importing and exporting of goods as well as the movement of people. It can also be said that communication is now more easy and efficient, as people from different countries are able to communicate with the increased use of the internet as well as mobile technology. We have learned about the outcomes and results of globalisation on a cultural, ethical, environmental and political scale within various groups of interest, with each factor containing both as many negatives as positives. As a group, we came to the conclusion that the argument on the controversy of globalisation within society is balanced. I will now pass on to Calum, who will talk about crisis management.
The crisis management is where firms are made to deal with difficult situations and the management of crisis. is where firms as a concept face difficulties. This leads me on to the economic crisis of 2008. In 2008, the financial crash would have made many firms both have the management of crisis and the crisis of management. This led to the loss of many jobs and people losing their homes and having real problems in their life, and this always had a direct impact on society. Many believe this was the biggest economic financial crash of our global economy since the Great Depression in the 1930s. The economic crisis was caused largely by poor management. Negligence and naivety, I believe, are essential to the fall of some of the biggest companies, such as the Lehman Brothers, which was a global financing firm. The Lehman Brothers collapse created a domino effect and the economic crisis began. This led to many firms facing a very difficult situation, which is the management of crisis. To summarise on our 4 aspects of business we have discussed, which were crisis management, CSR, business ethics and globalisation. All of these aspects of business have a role in society. Globalisation has caused an increase in communications, which has impacted on a global scale, culturally and politically. CSR is to be responsible in the wider society rather than thinking purely about making a profit. Business ethics outlines the 4 different types of ethics, which are relativism, egoism, deontologism and utilitarianism. And this concludes our talk as a whole.